Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. That's right, Funny Science Fiction, the live edition, the podcast where we believe that the name Shatner should no longer be the name of a person, but instead of a really fun drinking game where every time you see William Shatner overact, which is basically always, you take a shot. So may the Shatners and your kidneys always be in your favor.
I think your liver's going to have an issue with it first, but whatever.
Liver, right. Kidneys, your internal organs are pretty well, they're done for.
They're going to be pickled. Before we get into wow, it's Monday.
Easy for you to say. Welcome to Monday.
Woo! All right. Let's hope this isn't a complete dumpster fire tonight. All right. But before we get into tonight's show, we need to say thank you to our show sponsors, River City Teas and Level Up Lightsabers. And let's watch those awesome videos.
Please feel free to dance in the background. With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Teas has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Teas has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Teas has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Teas has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Teas on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Teas. Let's make a shirt together. All right, that's River City Teas.
Level Up Lightsabers!
All right. Those are always fun and cool. So I understand the internet's being a little wonky tonight. Thanks, Charter. Appreciate that. I don't understand what's going on. I have full signal. Everything's great. Everything should be fine. But apparently I'm uber pixelated. So I've gotten that message.
8-bit Mario. It's okay.
Well, actually, I feel quite honored to be 8-bit Mario. Okay. I'll take that.
All right. And you don't just have to look at the two of us tonight. You get 2 more faces to look at. Let's welcome Jason Taylor and whatever Justin's last name is from the Three Geeks Podcast. I'm not
I am honored to be on your program today. This is
you can get rid of him if you want.
Sure.
Well, anyway, it was nice having Jason with us for a little bit.
That's right.
He didn't even make it to the 5-minute mark.
Jason's like, oh, sad face. Well, I'm really excited to have you guys here. We've got a really cool topic to talk about with you guys tonight. So hopefully you guys in the audience are ready and prepared to have as much fun as I think we're going to have on the show tonight. And John Wassler, finally a break from Paw Patrol. Honora says, hi, Mommy.
And hi, Honora.
Oh, boy.
Terrible.
That starts already. He shaves his beard and he gets all cocky. Look at this. All right. So for tonight's festivities, we've got kind of a cool topic on hand. And I really like this because I think there's a lot of movies out there in the world where you look at it and you go, well, I didn't think this was a sci-fi movie. And the more you look at it, the more you're able to make the connection between science fiction and what you're watching. And it becomes some really cool tie-ins. So tonight on Funny Science Fiction Podcast, the live edition, starring Jason and Justin of Three Geeks, which if you haven't caught on, there's like 26,000 geeks.
10,000.
But we only can get like 2 or 3 at a time to join the show. But what we're going to talk about tonight, 3 would be generous. But we talk about movies that aren't necessarily science fiction, but you can make the argument that they either are or that they should be considered science fiction. So we're going to let Jason Taylor lead the charge tonight, and he's going to tell us what movie he picked and why he believes that movie actually is science fiction. And then before he gets started, I have to say, I know what his selection is, and I have been waiting all day to see how this becomes science fiction. So Jason, take it away.
Spoiler alert for Fast 9 if you have not seen it yet. Okay? But they go to space in a car. If that's not science fiction, I don't know what is. Like, first off, anybody that's watching this franchise, if you're at the point where you're still watching and expecting the first movie, you need to just stop and give up. Like, if you're not on board for the ridiculousness, then don't watch it anymore. But Fast 9, they go to space in a car with a rocket attached to the top of the car. It is fantastic. Ludacris and Tyrese in space in a car going to upload something to a satellite. And they even slingshot a car across a canyon. That's science fiction.
They slingshot a car across a canyon.
Okay, so now I haven't watched the movie, and you have by no means spoiled it for me because I don't really believe anything that I've seen in the Fast and Furious movie since, I don't know.
Is there a plot to spoil?
Yeah, since Too Fast, Too Furious, we jumped the shark on this show a long time ago.
Hey man, since The Rock joined, I've been on board, and every movie since The Rock joined, there's an argument that it could be sci-fi. They're practically the Avengers.
I mean, John Cena's in this one. They can hardly see the plot, you know?
Yeah. And John Cena should totally play Ernest.
I see what you did there. Justin. Nice. So I have to ask, and like I said, you're not spoiling anything for me, but is the only thing to protect them from the outer space, like, or is there anything on the vehicles to protect them from outer space, or is it just rockets to help them get there?
They put like special stuff around the glass, lots of duct tape, Like
the radiation usually helps.
A ton of duct tape. They're in old scuba diving outfits with duct tape taping up the mask. Like
that's how we got to the moon is duct tape.
This franchise has my money for as long as they're going to keep making these because I want to see where it goes. I don't know how you top going to space in a car. Like, how do you do that?
People like you are the reasons that this movie is going to continue being made.
You know what I want Fast 10 to be? I want them to hunt down the Universal monsters. That's what I want Fast 10 to be.
Fast 10 is just suddenly that they find Atlantis. Like,
I'd be down.
Honestly,
it's a moon base.
If we're going to do a Fast 10, if we actually get to that point where they've decided to steal money from people on 10 of these movies, then the 10th one needs to be a jumble up with Jurassic Park. That's the only way that becomes accessible. Or or acceptable rather.
They make a 10th and they continue taking advantage of people like Jason.
Tim, good news. Good news. This movie made a lot of money, and they're already all signed on to do 2 more.
Oh yay!
Oh, but of course.
I'm so excited.
Or is it in the nuclear fridge? Good point, Was. Either way, it's a train wreck.
Was, nothing has jumped the shark quite like Indiana Jones 4 did.
We don't talk about it.
That was the nuke in the fridge. That was
the nuclear fridge. Yeah, that was my. That would be bad. That was bad.
I'm a fan. I watched the show.
I still like it because it's Harrison Ford, and I love Harrison Ford, and I will watch just about anything the man is in, even 6 Days, 7 Nights. As horrible as that was, and that is a ridiculously horrible movie.
I have to check and see if my mom is watching before I say this.
What about
Fast 10, a crossover the Transformers? What movie?
Roll Out.
Homicide with Harrison Ford. How was that?
I don't know that I've seen that.
I can't talk. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme made a movie with Dennis Rodman, so no judgment here.
I don't think I know that movie.
It's with Josh Hartnett.
Harrison Ford. I know. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, I know which one I know which one you're talking about, but no, I have not seen it. So,
check it out.
I'm not saying I've seen every one of his movies, but I am much less resistant to skipping a movie if Harrison Ford is in it.
Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford was really good. I just saw that for the first time.
Yeah. And even though, so I loved him in 42 with Chadwick Boseman when he played the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers back in the day, bringing in Jackie Robinson. That's an amazing movie in 42.
Fantastic.
and he played the old man that I really do envision him to be coming up here shortly. What I'm afraid Indiana Jones 5 is going to look like is that movie.
I don't know, man. I think Indy 5 could be good.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf's back, right?
No, it's got all the right people doing it. Like George Lucas isn't writing anything, so I think we're looking good.
Shia LaBeouf's the worst thing ever.
No, but in Indiana Jones, he wasn't great.
He was pretty terrible in that.
Worse than the Transformers.
I mean, him and Fury, though. Fury was great.
I actually really liked Disturbia.
Fair enough.
Disturbia was good. Fury Road was good. I didn't mind him in the first Transformers movie. After that, it kind of got annoying.
It spiraled quickly.
And being the young one on the show, I loved Even Stevens. Like, that was...
I got no clue on that one.
Oh my gosh, it was an old Disney Channel show. It was awesome. He was hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so they went to space. Getting back to Fast 9, they went out with duct tape and aqua suits.
I want to know what was Kathleen's comment that she was going to make.
Oh, well, so she didn't respond to me, so I'm going out on a limb here. My mom is also a big fan of Harrison Ford, but she calls him Harrison Hottie Pants.
Oh, that's fair.
Like, anytime I say, hey, do you want to watch whatever? Do you want to watch Indiana Jones with Harrison Hottie Pants? I'm like, oh,
well, man, you got to get that trending. Everybody,
right? Everybody seems to call him Harrison Hottie
Pants. Hashtag Harrison Hottie Pants. Do it.
I think your mom heard that from me personally.
Well, she said it way before I knew you existed. So,
hey, baby, I'm gonna watch Harrison Hottie Pants again. Sure, that was a thing.
I'm sure. Obviously, you have a massive man crush on him. It's okay.
I do. All right, so actually, it sounds to me like Fast 9 has turned more into like a 1950s, B movie than I don't know. I'm having a hard time envisioning this, mainly because I haven't seen it. I'm sure I will slap down some money and watch it at some point, or just wait for it to come out on HBO Max. And
Tim,
I guess I'm still paying money.
If you didn't like 8 or 7 or 6, don't bother. You won't.
Those are actually rated really highly though, so you might like those and still not like this one.
Actually, I didn't really care for the first couple ones. Those weren't my favorite.
Maybe this will be for you then.
But I didn't
like the first few.
Yeah, well, my biggest problem is Vin Diesel. I'm not a big Vin Diesel fan.
Well, he's in most of these.
Yeah, I think he's a horribly overrated grunter. I think the best acting work he's done is in Guardians of the Galaxy, because I don't have to hear him when he only says one line. So
I don't know. He's really good in The Pacifier.
No,
he is hilarious.
I'm sure it is, and I have seen it, but no.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Kathleen was 4 when The Pacifier came out, so she's like groomed to love that movie.
Well, yeah.
When did that one come out?
I'm not entirely sure, but
I have to double check. I was 13. So
and I will admit they went a little overboard, but the best thing that's ever happened, other than Guardians of the Galaxy, the best thing that ever happened to the dude I just said I can't stand,
Vin Diesel.
Thank you. Vin Diesel was the family memes that went around about about every movie that's ever been made or every TV show. All of a sudden, there's Dominic Toretto. We're a family.
My favorite one was The Family Ties.
I got so sick of seeing those memes in the pending posts in our group, though.
I didn't even care. I was there for all of it. I'm like, I've seen 6 of this one today and approved. I didn't even care. They were great.
Although, to the listeners from our group, I appreciated those more than the Jeff Bezos ones.
Blue Origin.
Not make it onto funny science fiction. I think the Big Geek shared a couple of those, so go check those out.
Oh my word! Although there was one that I did not approve into the group, but I sent to my siblings because it was my parents got to see a man go to the moon, and we see
So there was that. So
it's not my fault. I didn't design the rocket.
Our memes did.
But Tyrese and Ludacris designed a rocket made out of a car that took us to space in Fast 9.
I broke Tim!
Yeah.
I win.
Jeff Bezos broke Tim.
Did you see that one in the list?
No, I did not see that one, but I've seen plenty others. All right. So, although apparently talking about the rocket has apparently increased our viewership, so that's awesome. All right.
Let's do it.
But we're going to move on anyway.
Prime.
All right. So Fast 9, Furious 9, or whatever they're calling it these days, F9, the sequel for your money. So other than the fact that they went to space and they clearly should not have, was it a decent movie?
I enjoyed it. As far as a good movie, like motion picture cinematic achievement, I don't know, but I had a lot of fun for the 2 hours I was there. I'm thinking the reason I have a lot of fun at these popcorn movies more so than other people do is because I go with my kids and just watching their face as this ridiculous stuff is happening. It's just one of those moments as a father that's just like, I'm glad that they're having this awesome time.
All right.
Except for Space Jam.
We need people with low bars, Jason. I mean, it makes life much happier.
Exactly. Going with lowered expectations. All right. So, all right, Justin, you have a movie as well. Now, it's not the movie that most people are going to be thinking that you're talking about because we're actually going to talk about the original that was made back in the 1990s.
Gosh, so long ago.
So what's your movie, Justin?
It's Space Jam, and I get space is in the name. And when I was doing research for this thing, it bothered me that sci-fi didn't come up at all. Like Google Space Jam in terms of like the genres it fits into. It's like animation, family, funny. Like sci-fi wasn't any part of that. If I said remove Space Jam and said aliens are going to come, steal people's talent, and try to take over a whole species, what genre of movie do you think would that be housed in? Like, I had no intention of doing Space Jam until like noon when I was like, why isn't Space Jam labeled as sci-fi?
Right. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Looney Tunes.
Right. Like, there's no way to argue that. It's like, it's low-hanging fruit because space is in the name and there's aliens and stuff, but it's just like, what? Who didn't calculate that? Like, was it like bad for marketing to say it was a part of sci-fi? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? Why didn't someone say this is a sci-fi thing? Because it is a sci-fi thing.
Oh, I think so. I think that's a very logical leap. You know, yeah. Because when you look at it, so they trick all these NBA stars into giving up their powers, or they're extracted out of them. I don't remember exactly how that all comes up, but you know, and then they're put into these. You know, like what do they call them? The Monstars? Was it what they were called?
I watched it before coming on. The little aliens like turn into liquid. They fly into the NBA players' bodies and then extract the talent and then put it into a basketball. So like, word Dune says. But
sorry. Speaking of Dune, this week on the Three Geeks podcast, Tim and Kathleen are going to attempt to remake that movie that I couldn't get past the trailer. Sorry, Justin. Continue.
I made it to the 30-minute mark, and
I'll be crying by the end of the first hour of your show on Sunday. That'll be awesome.
I might have a charter outage on Sunday.
All right, so I'm sorry, Justin. Please continue.
You're okay. I mean, my explanation or my definition of it, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's an alien movie about an invasion that was trying to enslave a whole population of things, or people, tunes, and it wasn't labeled as sci-fi, which I don't understand. Mick, I'll agree with half of that.
Agreed. I think it's interesting too because so you look at, how they get Michael Jordan. They abduct him into another world. It's a parallel universe. There are so many things here that there's spaceships. There's alien abductions. There's parallel universes. There's monsters and stealing of souls or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, definitely. I can see how that you look at that and go, oh, absolutely, yeah. This is a.
It seemed like a real no-brainer, to be honest. I was like, why isn't this labeled as that? Yeah.
Looney Tunes in general could be classified as a sci-fi because Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, for sure.
And talking animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, anamorphic for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that if you look at a lot of what that is, because you said that it wasn't labeled as sci-fi, and I think that especially in the 90s, I think Hollywood was kind of scared to label things as science fiction because you got to admit there was a lot of weak and lame crap that came out in the late 80s and early 90s that was basically getting just, plowed over by everyone. And so because it had the Looney Tunes attached to it, I don't think they wanted to call it sci-fi.
I mean, that's a fair point. It just blew my mind. I was like, it has everything making is of a good sci-fi thing. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, no, it's animation, it's funny, it's family. That's it. Wait, that's fine.
Mick likes to think that LeBron James is a national treasure.
Is that the one with Nick Cage?
He's fine. LeBron is fine as long as he's not reading while he's in a movie. But Justin, the soundtrack to Space Jam was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was
the original movie. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I still listen to that soundtrack today.
Hit 'em high, hit 'em high.
Hit 'em low, hit 'em low. Yeah, exactly. Mick, awesome. All right. So has anybody here other than Jason seen the new Space Jam?
I have not.
Kathleen, have you suggested
I have
your
not
child
yet. It is in my watch list. I just haven't had 2 hours where she hasn't wanted to watch Paw Patrol.
Okay.
I can respect that.
So Mick has said that both the movies are national treasures. He thinks that LeBron is a national treasure and we should stop LeBron hating. And
don't blame me for this one, Mick.
He's reminding us that he definitely has seen the movie, which we kind of gathered from the fact that he was defending LeBron so viciously. All right, so here's my opinion of my opinion of the movie. It's not good, but it's not bad. And
on a scale of 1 to Dune.
On a scale of 1 to Dune, it's definitely in the mid range.
Is it above Spice Melange?
Paw Patrol's above Spice Melange. So here's the thing: if you're looking for a good time to have with your kids, I'm going to go back to what Jason said earlier. If you're looking for a good time to have with your kids, something that they'll be able to identify with, and something that you can suspend belief for 2 hours, then I think I'm going to use what Mick is saying right here. It's perfect for the people it was made for. If, however, because you grew up with the original Space Jam movie and you watched the Space Jam movie and you actually happen to love the Space Jam movie and you're comparing the two by any stretch of the imagination, then you're going to have a problem with the new one.
See, and I'm going into it with
the straight cash grab.
I'm going into it with I love the original. The original was made for me. I was the kid that was supposed to love the original. And so I'm excited I'm excited to have a new version of it to share with my little person. So I'm hoping that it lives up to at least she likes it.
And here's the thing about it, and I have no problem admitting this. There are sections of the movie that are phenomenal, the way that they did it. The inclusion of all the DC characters and Wonder Woman and Lola Bunny going through the Amazonian trials and things like that. And that's not a spoiler. It's in the movie. It's not a big deal. But there are sections of the movie that are really good. Where it falls flat.
Anyway.
Yeah, where it falls flat is LeBron hamming it up for every time he's on the screen. And Jason, to Jason's point, it looks like he's on Saturday Night Live and he's trying to read his cue cards because he's like, what'd it say? So that's my problem. We love your face too, Casey.
My son enjoyed the movie, but he was falling asleep until the Looney Tunes characters came on. He could care less about any of the humans in the movie, and that's what I've been saying. I thought all the stuff with Looney Tunes was good, but it's like watching the Looney Tunes.
So as a totally not spoiler question, does it have the right amount of adult humor to make it so that you know that there are jokes that you're getting that your kid isn't? Because that's part of what makes some movies worth watching.
There is a cameo in this movie, Kathleen, that I thought they did extremely well, and it was amazing. And like I said, the DC sequence was great. You'll love that. And I wish the movie had been more of that. When they go into the other worlds, it's kind of sped through, except for the DC world, and I think that's where the movie really shined. Even LeBron in that sequence was fantastic, I thought.
Okay. Yeah, it's really solid. It's really strong because we're one of the areas where in life where Warner Brothers has got their crap together when it comes to DC is in animation. When it comes to the movies, they have,
They really do.
their head is so far up their backsides, they have no clue what they're doing. And Marvel's just bludgeoning them in the box office. But in animation, they really have a lock on what they're doing. And bringing in Looney Tunes into the DC Marvel animation was, not Marvel animation, but the DC Warner Brothers animation, excuse me, was really, really very cool. Casey also says that Space Jam is hot garbage. Terrible acting kept taking me out of it.
Are we talking about
wrong.
the second or all of them? Just all together?
I think he's referring to the second one.
But also, if you think about any of the Looney Tunes movies, like Looney Tunes Back in Action does the same thing.
Right.
Like, the acting in that is horrendous.
Whoa. Talking about national treasures, Brendan Fraser is a...
Oh, I adore Brendan Fraser, but that movie, the acting in it is horrendous.
I concur. I completely agree with you.
What's a box office?
What's a box office? I don't know. We haven't seen one.
Gotta go to the box store.
I'm actually hoping to go to the box office this week. We're looking at going to a drive-in theater this week.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah, so that should be fun. And Casey affirms that he was in fact referring to the second one being hot garbaggio. And Brendan, he also says Brendan Fraser's a golden god.
Who else will protect us from mummies?
Right? Who else is going to protect us from mummies and be the most hilarious caveman known to mankind?
So my favorite thing with Brendan Fraser ever was from George of the Jungle.
Yes.
Where he just gets going, Java, 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 Java. And then he goes like nuts because he's ate a whole can of, ground Java.
Yes.
Great.
He's fantastic in Doom Patrol.
I have not watched Doom Patrol yet.
What? It's actually really good.
So I just started making my way through the Titans TV show. And there's, of course, the Doom Patrol tie-in there. And you see him in there. And that's, so I'm definitely be checking it out. You guys are making me miss LeVar Burton. No, we're not making you miss. You chose to spend your time with us, sir, and so that's kind of on you. And
come on, can you not do multiple screens, Mick?
And by the way, you're welcome.
How dare you, Kim?
I am a lot cuter than LeVar Burton, and
no, you're really not.
Beard, so you can see my double chin now. See, so you're welcome for that.
Well, I hate to break it to you, we saw that even with a beard, buddy. So anyway.
Dang, shots fired.
nothing but love. Jason knows I love you. So
Tim's also growing beard to attempt to camouflage.
Yeah, there's a, you know what? You don't have to point it out so fast. You're supposed to be on my side. But anyway,
I can't see half your face anyway because of your mic. You're fine.
I'm just going to stay like this for the rest of the show. Nobody will see me.
Just unplug your router.
Here, see, I have a beard now too.
Mick is the best. We like Mick. Mick's good dude. A lot of fun. So, all right. So, like I asked Jason, is this something that you would watch again? The original version. So, is it something that you would watch again, even though it's not typically or considered to be science fiction?
100%. I'm just more frustrated that it's not labeled already sci-fi. Yeah, 100%. I would watch it again.
All right, cool. The shag is glorious. Yeah, that's my this is my camping beard. So, there's that.
You started camping yesterday. That is impressive.
Yeah, I might have started a couple days earlier so I could, get a good appeal to it.
The finals in the mail.
That's right.
Force grew the facial hair.
That's right. All right, so Kathleen, your pick is up next, and
it is. And I broke the rules. Surprise, surprise.
Kathleen broke the rules. Never.
My mom's watching, and I'm sure she's doing the right, Kathleen. No,
I have to admit that this is something I had never heard of, nor had I watched before you brought it up.
Crime. It's fantastic.
All right, so tell us your pick.
So my pick is the 2000 NBC miniseries 10th Kingdom.
I've heard of it.
Nothing for me.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad.
So you are the lone expert on this show.
That's great because I had it on VHS after we recorded it off the TV, and then I bought it on DVD, and I'm pretty sure I've watched it about 8 million times.
So you said it's a mini series. Like how long?
It is a mini series. There are 5 episodes that are 2 hours each. Well,
Ooh,
hour and
10
a half
hours.
each. Hour and a half each, something like that.
So
I'm not
is
sure
this-
it's many anymore.
right? That's just a series. But is this something that was like was a book and they turned it into a miniseries?
Yes, it was a
okay.
book, and then NBC turned it into a miniseries. It came out. It would have been February. When was it? February 01? February 2000. I mean, double check my dates here.
Kathleen, I'm sold on this. Ed O'Neill as a Troll King. I'm in.
Oh my gosh, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
He is
you can-
absolutely hilarious. His name is Relish. He is Relish the Troll King, and he is fantastic. I mean, he's okay. So February of 2000. Yeah. So Anne Margaret is Cinderella. Cameron Manheim is Snow White. So the whole premise of it is the main character Virginia, who is played by Kimberly Williams Paisley. I think she's just Kimberly Williams at that point, but either way, ends up getting, she and her father, Tony, end up getting sucked through a magic mirror into fairy tale land. After Virginia hits a golden retriever with her bicycle, and the golden retriever actually turns out to be a prince who is the grandson of Snow White. So this fairy tale world is 50 years after it was eBay, John. It was eBay. Don't even don't give me that much credit.
I love the fact that you're like, well, if I throw this in, will you give me free shipping? That is fantastic.
It really was. It was very much and yes, it is like a precursor to Once Upon a Time.
I like how Jason's not even like, I don't need to comment in the.
He's so
in the
used to
show.
just commenting on the show instead of actually being on the show with us. But the fairy tale world is about 50 years, or I don't remember the timelines. I should watch it again. Darn. But it's after Happily Ever After. But the
All right,
Happily
John.
Ever After didn't last as long as they wanted it to. So
I'm completely in on this. I want to see
it's
this.
so good. It is so good.
Yeah, I'll have to take some days off work to get through it. But yeah, this sounds good.
Out
This
under
is-
the
You,
snow.
mama.
This would be the mom.
I really did. I watched it repeatedly. And then it was so funny as I watched it as an adult and all of a sudden got all of the jokes that I didn't get as a kid and did wait, my parents let me watch this? Which is because they knew that I didn't get the jokes. But I think that was the reason that my dad was okay with watching it, is because he got the jokes when I didn't.
Right.
But like Mom said, regardless of what anybody else wanted to watch, it's what I
Like going
watched.
back and watching the old Batman and getting all the spoof and satire that's in there and all the.
Oh, you mean from like the 60s version
Yeah,
of the Batman?
in the movie.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. That was full of double meanings and things that you didn't catch as a kid. Or at least I didn't when I was a kid or a teenager, because I was paying attention to the Batman punching the Riddler and it saying poof and pow and zowie on the screen, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was definite double entendre in that. Okay.
Seriously though, I gotta find out where to watch this. 'Cause I wanna check it
It's currently
Apparently eBay is where you
well,
gotta
I
get
think
it. You
it's
get it from
currently
eBay.
on the Roku TV channel for free. It had been on Amazon, but it's not anymore, which is stupid.
on HBO
Come on,
Max,
Bezos.
everybody.
No, he's too
When he gets
busy.
back from his rocket trip, he'll make sure that you get a chance to watch the 10th Kingdom.
He'll add it. He'll see the light of sci-fi in the 10th Kingdom.
And and that's the thing. So saying that is the purpose we're here is why it's sci-fi. It's an alternate dimension. It is just a time portal that happens to be a magic mirror, but it's a portal to another dimension where your fairy tales that you read growing up actually existed. So
Okay.
in the other dimension, there are 9 kingdoms, including, I mean, it's Snow White and Red Riding Hood and Cinderella, and it's fun. It's horribly cheesy early 2000s CGI, but it's
Okay.
fun.
So, from what I'm finding in a quick Google search, apparently it's only available right now on Pluto TV. So if you have Pluto TV, you can get it there. Which that's a free service, I believe. I don't think you have to pay for anything. You do have to sign up, I believe, but I don't think you have to pay
Yeah,
for
Pluto
anything.
TV is great. They have a Happy Days channel. Everybody check it out.
Okay, cool. Now,
Don't, not because of Happy Days.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, Jason.
hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
You can make
Thursday,
a
Friday.
argument.
Thank you, Jim.
You can
You
make an
remember
argument.
Dave,
Happy Days with sci-fi.
But according to IMDb, this has an 8.3 out of 10 rating, and 94% of Google reviewers gave it the thumbs up.
That's awesome.
So it's got a pretty high rating. So
My only complaint, and totally not spoiler, only complaint is that it ends with this is the end of the first book. And they never made the rest of it.
That's, well, I mean, 10 hours. I get it.
And you're the first person I've ever heard mention this. So you
But the
might have been
ratings
their
are so
only
good.
audience. They got me too. I mean, I don't know how
I mean-
anybody doesn't want to see Al Bundy as a troll.
Yeah.
I do. I want to see
Relish
that.
the Tolkien.
From saying
I
it,
just-
Tim.
I just want to see him like lean back and insult some woman about her choice in shoes, and then shove a hand down his pants and call it a day.
There are
All right,
shoes
then.
involved. There are shoes involved with Relish.
Oh, that's even better.
Because
So
the
for its
trolls have a thing
time-
for-
go ahead. Go ahead.
the trolls have a
Sorry.
thing for shoes.
Nice.
Of all things,
Okay.
they have a thing for shoes, and it's weird.
For its time, it actually had a pretty impressive cast.
Mhm.
For the late 90s, early 2000s, it was Kimberly Williams, John Larroquette, Diana West, Ed O'Neill, Rutger Hauer's in it, Anne Margaret's in it, Cameron Manheim's in it, Warwick Davis is in it. Let's see who else. Names that I recognized. I was trying to go for.
Scott Cohen.
But yeah, Scott Cohen's in it. Yeah. And a few others that I don't really recognize, but still that's quite the cast for an ensemble at that time.
Did this lead you to read the book?
Yes.
Did you
It
read
did.
the whole series? Whole deal?
I did.
Did you read the second book and find out why you were upset with?
I
Okay.
did. I've read the entire thing. It was like my mom said, it was an obsession.
Catherine,
All right.
You sound like me when I was a kid waiting for the Mac and Me sequel that never came.
Oh,
How dare you?
mean.
All right.
But I mean,
Cool.
So 2000, I was 9. That was the year I turned 9. I introduced my mother-in-law to it too. And Wolf is fantastic.
Apparently hilarious.
So Scott Cohen's character, his name is Wolf. He is a half man, half wolf. Not a werewolf. There's a difference. But there is a fantastic, hilarious PMS related scene with him where because it's a full moon, he goes full wolf, but they treat it like PMS and menstruation symptoms, which is hilarious to me because it
You never
makes
go-
sense.
You never go full wolf. Anyway,
Like he requests a fluffy bunny to snuggle because
nice.
the cramps and he needs the warm fuzzy bunny.
All right, cool. So obviously, this is I've asked the other guys, but clearly, this is something you would watch again and or read again.
Have repeatedly.
Okay, still going to
Oh,
keep going, and
I'm gonna try to watch it before you guys come on Sunday.
okay,
Wait.
10 hours. Godspeed.
yeah. Good luck to you. Let me know how that works out.
See, and I think it was too. It was around the time that NBC tried to do like their early spring miniseries, because then it was the next year that they did the Rose Red miniseries. Like they tried to make it a thing, and then it wasn't a thing, which is sad.
That's fair. I do think I've seen parts of that show because I remember the Relish character, but I don't remember anything else about it.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen a second of screen time of this. So, and I think probably because at the time it came out, that wasn't not something I would have sat down and watched, just because probably looked too Cinderella-y to me. So, and in 2021 years ago, I was a young man who clearly could not be interrupted with girly things like Cinderella. So,
And I was wrong. It's about 7 hours total.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so time
So
means
I had it on
we got to keep going. We'll hit my pick, and we got a couple things we need to cover real quick.
You want to
so-
talk about your movie?
No, actually, we can skip my movie. I'm cool with that.
No, yours is cool.
So, all right, well, fine. Leave me alone then. Just kidding. I'm getting all defensive.
It's my movie. It's a good movie.
It's my movie. All right, so this is my movie. The movie Yesterday. So if you're a Beatles fan, this movie was kind of a must-watch. Came out 2 years ago, and actually we went and saw this while my daughter was in the hospital. One of the towards the end of her hospital stay, when she was feeling better, and they would let us out of the hospital with her, and we could take her. We took her wheelchair, and we took her to the movie theater to go see this. And of course, if you know my daughter very well, you'd understand that she's not like her dad at all. She's not sarcastic, and does not have a dark sense of humor, even a little bit. All lies.
Why we're totally not friends at all.
Exactly. But so we're going. This is one of the greatest memories I have of this movie, and I don't think that she remembers this. But we're pushing her down the hallway, and she's yelling out, "Sick kid in a wheelchair coming through," so that we could get to the movie theater so we could go watch this. And I just looked at her. I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Hey, I'm in it. I'm living this up for all I can get out of it." So I mean, I couldn't really argue with that. But anyway, so we went to see this because both my daughter and I both really like the Beatles. We both really enjoy them. And just real quick, before we do that, Holly says that it is also on YouTube. So if you want to look for it you can find it on YouTube. And let's see, I'm able to have two screens. So in other words, suck it up, Mick. Oh. There's two screens available.
My mom can do two screens.
Yeah.
Proud of her.
So anyway, so the basic premise of this story is that one night there's a power blip that goes out through the world. And when this happens, it erases the memory of the Beatles from every human being on the earth, except for like 3 people. And so where this becomes sci-fi is you have a worldwide catastrophe that nobody knows about. It wipes everybody's minds, and it not only wipes the minds of the Beatles, but all the people that the Beatles would have influenced along the way. So it's now a world without Harry Potter because, J.K. Rowling was no longer going to be influenced by the Beatles and become a Beatles fan and all these other things. So Harry Potter doesn't exist. So that's not a big loss. And then there's, like how I threw that in there.
Curveball.
Curveball.
I got a question for you, Tim. Do you like actual science fiction, or is it only Star Wars?
Dang, you can kick him off again, Tim, if you want.
Wow.
So anyway, I was thinking. No, actually, I really do enjoy science fiction quite a bit. I love The Fifth Element. I love Stargate. I love. I'm actually growing to like Star Trek the more I watch it, and you Trekkies are sucking me into your cult. It's happening. But anyway, no. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, so Yesterday it becomes a really cool movie. And like John Lennon is still alive, and it's by the way, I'm not saying spoilers. This movie's been out for 2 years. If you didn't see it, it's not my fault.
The fact that you said it was 2 years ago, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was longer ago than it was just an entire freaking pandemic ago.
It was Well, the pandemic seems like 10 years in of its own.
Does.
All right, Was, that's a 10-minute ban.
Oh gosh, not him.
Cats is totally sci-fi. Oh god.
I almost talked about Highlander too.
We totally, while we were preparing for the show today, we had to go grocery shopping, and on the way home from grocery shopping, he told me that is the hill he has chosen to die on, and fight me for it, that Cats is sci-fi.
He's not wrong, but it still sucks. Okay, I will what is the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I'll give in to the fact that Cats is sci-fi. Okay, John, just stop talking about it.
If you talk about it too much, then Mick's gonna start commenting again, and that just
and then
really
we're back to Cats and Dune Spice, tornado spiral.
Taylor Swift and funny feelings.
Exactly. I got the kitty feels. That didn't sound good.
Yesterday.
Anyway, back to Yesterday. So throughout this, he goes through and because nobody's familiar with the music, he puts on the music of the Beatles as if it's his own, because he's a struggling musician that nobody has ever really heard of. And John, I swear to God, boy, we gotta have to talk. Anyway. So it's a really cool story. And actually, I need to go back and watch it because I'm not sure, but I don't believe that even in the end of the movie that the memory of the Beatles comes back. I believe it stays gone. And he ends up living in a world where, the Beatles aren't there, but the love for the music of the Beatles, because he helped bring it out to the world, is there. So it's kind of an interesting concept, and how he goes about discovering that the Beatles are gone, that they no longer exist. Like even in his own record collection, all the Beatles records are gone, and everything's missing. And so it like completely wiped it out. So it's kind of an interesting pick, at least in my opinion. I think that you can make the case for it being sci-fi because of the fact that there's the power blip and the memory wipe, and it's a parallel dimension or parallel universe as far as I'm concerned at the point at which that happens, because now we're at a point where nobody knows who John, Paul, George, and Ringo are. They're just people. So
I mean, the less you know about Ringo, probably the better post Beatles. But
don't shoot up.
So John's just trying to kiss up now. He says, I agree with Tim. Yesterday was awesome, and I'm not even a Beatles fan.
We did actually enjoy the movie, and he does not like the Beatles, which is ridiculous, but
so yeah.
Not like,
but
not
anyway,
like Elvis, so it's okay.
Yeah, I can get behind this being a sci-fi movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna make Fast 9 a sci-fi movie, this is definitely. Of course, we don't have anybody going to space, but I mean, so there's that. So
enough duct tape to go to
I'm
space.
sure radio waves go to space. It's fine.
I don't want to live in a world without the Beatles.
Which is why the aliens don't come here, because they hear our radio waves and they've decided not to deal with us.
Well, they heard all the mumble rappers. They're like, yeah, they're screwed. Leave them alone.
They have locked their doors and kept going.
Kept driving, that's for sure.
Keep moving.
That's right. Oh, look, they can no longer talk. Okay.
We don't want this neighborhood. Go faster.
Roll them up.
Just wait until they decide to demolish the planet and make it an expressway. It'll be okay.
All right. So before we get, Kathleen had something that she wanted to talk about, but before we get into that, I want to make sure that we highlight something that's near and dear to us as podcasters. So one of the things that we often talk about in our group, Jason and Justin and the whole Three Geeks podcast group is a member of the Scene Snobs Network. And also, as you notice, and a lot of what we do, we talk about the Scene Snobs and being proud members of the Scene Snobs podcast network. Now, one of the things that means is that in doing that, we try very hard to take care of our own. We support one another. We go on each other's shows. But it's not just that we go on each other's. We're actually friends outside of off the camera. We goof with one another. Family. Yeah, we got our own little weird podcasting family. In fact, we call it a Podern family. And we joke around with each other, and we're friends off camera. And I give Jason a lot of crap on camera, but we joke around about it off camera. And he's a cool dude. And we're going to meet up in a couple months, and I am so very much looking forward to that.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. And Casey says, "Yay, weird family." That's right. We are a weird family, but we do view ourselves as a family. Now, with that being said, when it comes to the members of our family and something going on, we try very hard to make sure, like I said, that we take care of one another and we treat one another with the respect and kindness that they need, especially when they're going through something that's rough, that's trialsome. And I bring this up because
make him cry, Tim.
I'm not trying to, but this Friday afternoon, starting at 2:00, there's a charity fund-a-thon to help the Milbys. Now, the Milbys are related to Jason Taylor, and I believe it's his brother-in-law. Am I correct, Jason?
Yes, my brother-in-law, who I have known since the 3rd grade. I wasn't allowed to play with him when we were kids. But he was good enough for my sister, so we figured that one out.
Good enough for your sister, not good enough for you to hang out with. I want to meet this dude. All right. So, but it's important to know that his brother-in-law is in the hospital and has had some serious medical bills come his way. And, after everything that everybody's gone through the last year or so with the pandemic and everything else, we need support from community right now more than any time probably ever that we have before. And so we have an opportunity to help the Milbys with this fund-a-thon. It's a 12-hour event. It starts at 2:00 Eastern time in the afternoon. So 2 p.m. Eastern. It goes to 2 a.m. Eastern. And there's going to be a variety of different hosts hosting different hours. There's going to be all kinds of guests. Funny Science Fiction will be hosting the 9 p.m. to the 10 p.m. Hour slot Friday night. And we are very excited about that.
Wearing a unicorn suit.
She'll probably be wearing the unicorn suit. That's her. No, that's her way of telling you she's definitely wearing the unicorn suit. Probably with kitty ears too. But anyway,
you can't mix the kitty ears in the unicorn suit. That's just not right.
I'm sure you can.
Gosh, Tim.
So as it says there, it's a live. This is all going to be live. It's a 12-hour event. There's going to be some of your favorite shows. There's going to be lots of laughs. There's going to be guests, everything. There's so much going to be going on. And at the same time, there will be a GoFundMe link that's going to be shared with the audience repeatedly. Now, here's the thing. When people hear about GoFundMes, they think, oh, man, I don't have $20, $50, $100 to donate. I don't need you to donate $20, $50, or $100. I need 20 people to donate $1, $2, $3. Because here's the thing. If we all do that, it adds up so fast. And I'll also say this, as a recipient of a GoFundMe account, because when my daughter was in the hospital in 2019 for 97 days, my wife and I had no income. Some good friends of ours took it upon themselves to start a GoFundMe for us. Had it not been for that GoFundMe, we would have been financially sunk. We would have been done. And there were people who gave lots of money, but there were also people who gave $1, $2, $3, because that all adds up. And if you guys can do that, that'd be great. But yeah, and if nothing else, even if you can't donate the $1, $2, $3 amounts, so it adds up, if you can share the link so we can get this out in front of many people as possible, because maybe they can donate some money. And that's what we want to do. We want to help somebody who's had life just kind of take the hard one on them. And, it wasn't expected. It wasn't looking for this. And, that's kind of the way things happen. So join the entire Scene Snobs Network Friday afternoon, Friday, July 30th, 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Jay?
I have a lot of people asking me for updates on them, and I can give an update that I don't think has been made public yet. But right now, he has no short-term memory. It's gone. They don't know if it'll ever come back, and he can't have surgery for another 3 weeks because he's not there yet. So fingers crossed. They were on vacation in North Carolina when this all happened, so he's still down there. My sister's up here trying to give the kids some normalcy, but she's traveling back and forth, so it all helps.
That's a rough life. So, yeah, do what you can, guys. We greatly appreciate anything that you're able to do, anything you're able to give, to donate on that. Now I host another podcast called Focused on Forward. I'll be live from 8 to 9 on Focused on Forward. We'll also be talking about the Milby Charity Fundathon then during that show. We want to get as many people as we can exposed to this, and so that this can help out a very good family in great time of need. And so if you can, guys, please give what you can. Share the link, if nothing else, okay? But that's going to be a lot of fun on Friday. I want to make sure that you guys have opportunity to be part of that. Now, because we're running out of time, there was some things that Kathleen wanted to talk about. We'll see.
I did, but it's small and not really super significant. Other than the fact that a new Sims 4 pack came out this week.
I know! Cottage living!
We have llamas!
I have a problem with watching people play The Sims on YouTube.
My stars, I am in love with this pack. Like, it is not the farm pack that we wanted, but we have llamas.
And cows.
And a cow! And chickens! And I mean, it's super fun still. What I was laughing the most about while playing it is the number of sci-fi Easter eggs in this.
Okay.
Pack. So they introduced cross-stitching, which is not a super sci-fi thing until when you buy the little cross-stitch kit, it's called Make It So. There's a phone booth that when you read the information about it, it talks about how this weird guy in a suit told you that that's not a bathroom, it's something else, and it's been disguised, and it's like, that's obviously a TARDIS, but it's not. But it is. It was awesome. Yeah, my only complaint is that Origin has no sound on my computer right now, so I have no sound in my Sims. But we're figuring it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Eventually, EA will understand what I say when I'm telling them that things aren't working, and they'll get a tech support person who knows what they're doing.
And chickens can kill you in that game.
Every time John says every time a new Sims expansion comes out, my wife falls down a rabbit hole for a couple of days.
And there's rabbits in this one now with rabbit holes. So
In the rabbit holes.
My
On
daughter
theme.
and I, we play while we watch people play it on YouTube. So we got the whole immersive experience.
I built a fantastic fairy mansion for our family, and now we have a cow and a llama and a bunch of chickens, and it's so fun. It's all of the things of going outside without leaving my computer. Every nerd's dream.
All right, and just real quick too, we got about 4 minutes left, so I want to make sure that we get this in. Friday's upcoming release. I want to make sure everybody's aware of this.
Yeah!
This is really cool, and I am really geekily excited about this. We are interviewing voice actor Richard Epcar, and why that's cool is because if you've played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, then you've heard his voice as Raiden. If you watched or played the DC Injustice games, Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, Richard Epcar is the Clown Prince of Gotham in that show, in that game. In that game, I keep saying show. It's a game, but still, if you you can watch all the outtakes, the cutscenes, and it actually is a cool little movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right. He has been the voice of the Joker. Check this out.
So one of your credits is playing Gotham City's own Clown Prince of Crime, who I happen to love. In case
Yes, I see the picture behind your head.
Still give me chills.
Right?
Still.
Yeah, stinking love that. And Richard has 494 acting credits to his name. So if those one of those things I just mentioned wasn't one of the things where you're like, oh, that's okay, that's all right. But trust me, there's something in there that you're going to be like, holy cow, he was that, or he was in that. It's really cool. But we have a really nice chat with him. And that's coming out this Friday. Now, as far as our next upcoming live show, let's see. Casey says, Jason, that JCVD pick is just incredible. Bravo, sir. Loving you owning it. And Casey also said, that's awesome, y'all. So as far as next week's live show, we want to invite you guys to come back. We have Jeff Dwoskin coming back next week, who is, of course, a stand-up comedian and a famous in his own mind podcaster. I love Jeff. I have to give him crap. It's what we do.
It's just what we do.
But we also have another stand-up comedian by the name of Wally Collins coming on, who has been on Comedy Central. He hosted his own show on there. There's a whole lot we get to talk about with Wally, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And those two combined should make for a very entertaining hour of entertainment. But before we go, I just want to say thank you to Jason and Justin. Thank you guys for being here and being part of the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's going to be a blast. Friday, real quick, we have our friend Sherry Nelson joining Justin and I for our hour. And we have a musical performance from country singer Samantha Gatton. So
nice. All right. Excellent. So where can everyone find your shows? Where can they look for you real quick?
3geeks.ninja. Anywhere you find podcasts, 3 Geeks Podcast. Justin and I have 6 interviews scheduled this week. So you're going to be getting a lot of content from us very, very soon.
Excellent. Love it when you guys are busy. That means I get more stuff to listen to. All right. Because, by the way, guys, I'm a subscriber. Love your guys' show. And all right. So very cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, guys, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. And come back next Monday. We've got another great show for you, 7 o'clock Eastern. When that's goodbye.
On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySciFi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.